Hey everybody, I'm just here to explain a bit about our upcoming project. Better to give you the details in the video form, and I would have loved to have my face in the corner, but it kept causing me problems, so I've recorded this without my face. So, I'm just going to show you a few things about this, uh, kind of the conclusion of um, our class, of our course. And I've called it Project Innovate because I want you guys to start thinking about creative and inventive ideas, um, and putting all of the learning we've done throughout the year together into one kind of thing. I've done this with my Bella Park students, and they really enjoyed it. It was a pretty in-depth process. Ours is going to be a little shorter, but I think you're still going to get a lot of value out of it. And I'm going to help coach you through it. So today you've got supply teacher. I think Mr. Zupan is going to be supervising you, and he's going to help you with this stuff. So it's on Google Classroom. It's in this document, and it looks like this. So Project Innovate is a place where you guys are going to come up with inventions. You'll be in a group, so you're not going to be doing this on your own. Obviously, better to work in a team, 3 minds or 2 minds, thinking about this together. I don't want to have huge groups because it's easy for people. I think groups of 2 or 3 is appropriate. You're going to come up with an invention, and you're going to pitch it to an audience. So over the next few lessons, we're going to think about the best way to do that. The audience is going to be adults, and they're going to have some fake money that they're able to give to the idea that they think is the best. We've got some prizes, and I can talk about that when I return. But you're going to be joining the G period class as well. During those presentations, they're doing the same kind of project. So that's the project in a nutshell, and I just want to talk you through some of the resources I've got here, and then our plan for today. So I think today our goals are to choose groups, brainstorm some ideas, and then work on this planning sheet and get some feedback. So brainstorming ideas, that's where this list comes in. There's loads of different things, links to news articles, they could be websites, they could be YouTube videos. I'm just going to quickly go through them with you, but I want you to spend some more time going through this list and looking for some sort of stimulation to get you thinking about how you could come up with an invention maybe. And one thing to think about with all of these is that people are finding a problem and then identifying a solution. And that's the process we're going to go through. We're going to start with a problem and then work on a solution. So right now I'm showing you some of the solutions, but I want you to think about maybe some of the problems you have, and then we can work towards solutions in the next one. So these guys noticed that there was a problem in coffee shops. They were noticing that uh, the workers were handling the coffee cup lids with their hands that had maybe just been touching money and their face and things like that. So they made this little plastic ring to be able to hold a coffee cup lid and then push it onto the coffee cup. So a pretty simple design. They probably could 3D print a prototype and things like that, but the purpose is quite useful. And yeah, that was their invention. So there's some more information about their invention. I think they were saying that a company had actually stolen their idea, which is probably really common. Um, this link I won't go into it too much is the Consumer Electronics Show, which happens in the UK. It's a place where people sell their ideas or are able to showcase their ideas to wider audiences. And there's some pretty interesting technology that comes out of the Consumer Electronics Show every year. The pill bottle one here was about a guy that invented this user-friendly pill bottle for people that have Parkinson's, because one of the side effects of Parkinson's, or one of um, the things that comes with that condition, is trembling, shaking, and it's difficult for them to use this pill storage bottle. So he made a new pill storage bottle that was easier for people with Parkinson's. And again, he 3D printed it. He obviously came up with the design himself, and then maybe he's put it into production. So you can read about that guy's story. Mark Rober is a YouTuber, and he has a TEDx talk about how to come up with good ideas. It's about 20 minutes long, and he's pretty insightful. He's a really intelligent guy, but maybe it'll give you some inspiration on how to think about how to come up with a good idea for your project. We've also got Kickstarter, which is a website for people to post their inventions and get funding. So sometimes people post books or movies or things for cooking or video games or whatever. There's loads of different things, and you can click through here to look at some of the different uh, inventions that people are trying to raise money for. You can sort, I think, too, by if you go up to Discover, you can sort by trending or the most popular projects, the ones that they loved, or um, upcoming projects, whatever. You can sort through and look on Kickstarter. Maybe there's things you already own or you're interested in. I think um, the one wheel like scooter thing, started on Kickstarter. This was just a silly one that people, um, it's just a piece of plastic, but it actually has got quite a practical use to prevent your cat from touching the keys in your keyboard. Reddit shows some of these really specialized inventions. They're just like for very specific tasks, and they show videos and things like that, how they work. It's pretty interesting. Um, Best inventions from last year. Maybe there's some that you've seen before, but it's a pretty impressive list and might give you some ideas. These guys talk about some new inventions in a YouTube channel, so if you don't want to read the list, you can watch a YouTube video. 3D printed upcycling. I'll just go quickly to this link. This is where you're making new things with waste, basically. And yeah, so here's a cereal box, and they've made it into like a kid's toy or something like that. Or these tin cans, and they've put a plastic edge on it to make it look a little bit better, so that people will use it for planting their plants or something. This is an old filament storage unit, and they've made these other little holders so they can store some bits and pieces, which is kind of cool because we have some of these laying around and they're just being wasted. So the idea is that maybe you come up with a new way of using waste, to solve at least make a little bit of a contribution to saving something from being thrown out. This is meant to say our Jamboard from March, but the students also contributed it to in December contributed to it in December from my Bellapock class, and you guys contributed to it in March. And there's some ideas about the problems that you had identified in your life. So that's just a link to take you back to that um, Jamboard. And then this was one I just got. Somebody sent this to me, Mr. FP, and he said he saw this article. The company made normal backpacks, but because of one of the people that bought the backpack, he couldn't use it um, as a doctor because it wasn't able to be disinfected. So she remade the backpack that was able to be disinfected, so this doctor could take it to work. And she added some features like the hand sanitizer holder. These side pockets are designed to hold some special instruments that he had asked for and things like that. So it's another interesting article to read about how she had improved this design based on a problem that she had or that she was told about. So it was pretty cool. Um, so yeah, that's the brainstorming part. That's the first thing that you're going to work on after you've chosen your groups. And then you're going to take one of these paper planning sheets and start filling it out. So you're going to write your group members down here, and then you're going to think about 5 problems. You're not thinking about solutions. You're thinking about 5 problems that you have in your life. You're going to list those, not you, but your group as a whole. So maybe you guys can agree on things that you're like, yeah, we all have the same problem. And then you're going to choose one of those ones that you think you could find a solution for. So the problem I want to solve is whatever. But the idea about doing 5 is that you talk about it as a group, you think of 5, and then you really choose the one you think you could run with. All right? There's some space here for you to think about making some notes and ideas about how you might solve that problem. And then there's place for feedback. Okay? So as you work through this document, I want you to write it on paper, obviously, but you're just kind of going through these steps in your thought process. All right? Think of a problem, choose one that you really are passionate about, and then start thinking as a group how you might go about solving that. All right? Mr. Zupan can give you some feedback, and then I want you to get feedback from 2 other groups. Okay? Because when you talk to other groups, they often have good ideas and will add to your own ideas to make your thought process even deeper and more meaningful. Okay? So everything is on this document. You have printed out versions at the front, and yeah, you should get done that by the end of this class. Okay? Please, please, please spend some time going through these resources up here. There's lots and lots of good information, and it'll really get your group thinking. Okay? Good luck, and I will see you soon.